Hello and welcome to our deep dive into Sarepta Therapeutics, one of the most talked about and volatile names in the biotech world. Today, we're unpacking a pivotal moment for the company, its recent Phase 3 trial results, and what the future might hold from 2025 through 2030. This is an executive-level breakdown for investors, patients, and anyone interested in the high-stakes game of drug development. Let's start with the big news that shook the market. On November 3, 2025, Sarepta announced that its Phase 3 ESSENCE trial for AMONDYS 45 and VYONDYS 53 did not meet its primary goal. The trial, involving boys with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, or DMD, aimed to show improvement in their ability to climb for steps. Unfortunately, over 96 weeks, the data didn't show a statistically significant benefit. The market's reaction was brutal. Sarepta's stock plunged nearly 39% in after-hours trading. This wasn't just a reaction to one trial. It reignited skepticism about Sarepta's 𝗦𝗥𝗣𝗧𝗏 technology, which these drugs are based on. But as always, the headline doesn't tell the whole story. Sarepta pointed out some important nuances. The trial ran smack into the COVID-19 pandemic, when they analyzed data from participants whose treatment didn't overlap with the pandemic's disruptions. They saw something different, a roughly 30% reduction in disease progression over 2 years. Compared to the placebo group, on the safety front, the drugs were well tolerated, with most side effects being mild. Now, it's crucial to remember that both AMONDYS 45 and VYONDYS 53 were granted accelerated approval by the FDA a few years back. This approval was based on their ability to increase dystrophin production in the muscles, a key protein missing in DMD patients, not on direct clinical benefit like improved movement. Sarepta now faces the challenge of convincing the FDA to grant a full, traditional approval. Their argument will lean heavily on real-world evidence, suggesting that these drugs delay disease progression, improve heart and lung function, and reduce the need for ventilators. This FDA meeting will be a make-or-break moment for the company. So where does this leave Sarepta financially? The company isn't just relying on these two drugs. Their gene therapy, ELEVIDYS, is a major revenue driver, contributing the lion's share of the over $600 million in product revenue reported in the first quarter of 2025. In response to the trial results and market pressure, Sarepta has made some tough strategic moves. They've undertaken a significant restructuring, cutting their workforce by over a third. The goal is to slash costs and funnel resources into their more promising, next-generation platforms, like siRNA and other gene therapies. This is a classic biotech pivot: conserve cash and bet on the future. However, the company is navigating a reputational minefield. There have been past challenges, including a tragic patient death linked to another of their gene therapy candidates. This history means regulators and investors are watching every move with intense scrutiny. Trust is a fragile commodity in this industry, and Sarepta is working hard to rebuild it. Let's talk numbers. As of November 2025, Sarepta's market capitalization is hovering around $2.30 to $2.5 billion. Its price-to-sales ratio is below 1, which is incredibly low for a biotech firm and signals deep market pessimism. Analyst price targets are all over the map, from single digits to nearly $190 a share, a clear sign of extreme uncertainty. Our own models, which blend various valuation methods, suggest an intrinsic value of around $25 to $35 per share. This tells us the market has already priced in a massive amount of risk. The stock is trading at multi-year lows, reflecting very little confidence in any near-term good news. So, what could Sarepta be worth in the future? We built a 5-year discounted cash flow model to find out. We projected revenues growing from about $2.5 billion today to around $4.5 billion by 2029. Driven by existing products and potential pipeline successes, we also modeled profitability improving, with margins turning positive by 2027 as the restructuring pays off. Using a 17% discount rate standard for a high-risk biotech, we arrived at a potential equity value of about $43 per share. But damn, this is a big but that's before accounting for the immense risk. Given the regulatory hurdles, we applied a 40% probability discount. This brings our risk-adjusted valuation down to around $25 per share, which is right in line with where the stock is trading now. The market seems to have it priced just about right for now. Of course, the future is never just one path. Let's look at 3 possible scenarios over the next few years in a low-case scenario. If the FDA rejects the label conversion for AMONDYS and VYONDYS, and sales stagnate, the stock could fall to the $8 to $15 range. Our base case scenario, which we think is most likely, sees Sarepta getting a partial win with the FDA, achieving modest sales growth, and successfully cutting costs. In this world, the fair value of the stock would likely hover around the $25 to $30 mark. Then there's the high case or optimistic scenario. If Sarepta scores a full label conversion, ELEVIDYS sales continue to soar, and cost savings are realized, the stock could climb to the $45 to $60 range or even higher over the next 3 years. The key inflection points are clear: the FDA's decision on the drug labels, real-world data validating their effectiveness, and proof that the company can deliver sustainable revenue and profit growth starting in 2026. Looking ahead to 2030, the next 5 years will define Sarepta's identity. Will it become a disciplined, profitable leader in rare diseases? Or will it continue to struggle with credibility and execution? In our base case, we see the stock's value staying near its current level through 2026. With a slow recovery possible, the company hits its milestones. In the best-case scenario, a series of wins could push the valuation toward $40 or $50 by 2028. But in the worst case, more disappointments could see the stock languish in the low double digits, especially if they burn through cash before becoming profitable. To sum it all up, Sarepta Therapeutics is at a critical crossroads. The ESSENCE trial miss was a harsh reminder of how unforgiving drug development is, especially for a complex disease like Duchenne muscular dystrophy. However, the company isn't down and out. It still has a solid revenue base from its approved therapies and a pipeline of next-generation treatments, but it faces immense regulatory and execution risks. The current valuation reflects deep uncertainty, but also leaves room for significant upside if things go right. Our final assessment places the fair value in a wide range. The conservative estimate is $10 to $15 per share. The base case is $21 to $26, and the optimistic outlook is $40 to $60. The company's focus for the next 2 years must be laser sharp: secure those FDA approvals, expand insurance coverage for its drugs, and prove to the market it can be a lean, efficient operator. Whether Sarepta's next decade is one of growth or continued volatility will be determined by the milestones it hits or misses in the coming months. Thank you so much for joining this detailed analysis. If you found this breakdown valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. We'll see you in the next one.